Ooh, the symbolism in what Miss Lexi just said. It reminds me of the old African proverb, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. She said, I will burn this mother sucker down. Let's get into it. Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, it is about that time. Let's sip some sensibility, shall we?
You got locked up. Then you didn't even pay me for that. Then you tell me you want your damn dogs back. You don't deserve their dogs
Why didn't pay back? I feel like that's a trade for a trade. If you gonna keep the dogs, why would I pay back?
Let's shut the hell up. Oh my God. Feel like that's a trade?
Let me just say, first and foremost, I am living for the Fletchers, honey, because they are definitely a breath of life into the show. Seeing more of them and less of the Scots, moving right along. So watching this dynamic with the blended family, they have 4 children, as we learned. Chris and Kayla are the 2 youngest, shared by both Nell and Chris. And then you have Lance, that is Nell's son. And then you have Alexis, that is Chris's daughter. So listening to them go back and forth, it seems like Nell, as we can see, just totally went ballistic and erupted because she's at her wit's end because she spoils her kids. As I learned last night by listening to Carlos King interview the Fletchers, both of them grew up in the projects. They had humble beginnings, but yet they've grown to be successful and wealthy, educated. I know Chris is a Kappa. He joined the military. I think he went to Alabama. I'm not for certain, but I know he's a Kappa now, right? And Miss Nell owns a daycare center, and it seems like Chris is everybody in damn Huntsville's broker, okay? Doing his fiduciary duties, as he likes to say. But in all seriousness, they've done well for themselves. Lovely, beautiful home. And just listening to her, so it seems like she's always bailing her kids out and she shelled money out. So according to Nell, Chris Jr. hadn't found his niche and they're always bailing him out. That's what I got. The only person who didn't complain at the dinner scene last week or this week was Kayla, the baby girl, okay? So I'm assuming she's probably in school, graduated or whatever, and still young, maybe still living in the house, whatever. But to get to the point, yeah, so they definitely spoil their kids, and it's okay. And I'm all for making sure that your kids have what you don't have. However, now as the proverb goes, if you give a man a fish, he will be hungry tomorrow. If you teach a man how to fish, he will be rich forever. In other words, you can give a person something, but it's better to teach them how to sustain a lifestyle. Did Chris Jr. join the military? Did he go to college? Did he get a trade? Just what the hell is he doing? Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't give his ass back the dogs either till he paid my money, at least half of it. But anywho, but I like the fact that Lance, he has a home improvement business. And I like how they did a little plug and said the name of his business, Green Spaces, and he tried to employ Chris, but it seems like he's lazy. And I hate to say it, the younger generation, they just have a sense of entitlement. They want immediate gratification. They don't want to work for shit. And they want to live a life of opulence without putting in the work, okay? But anywho, I want to get to the good part with Miss Alexis. So in the beginning, child, Miss Nell blew a gasket and just blew the hell up and just went goddamn going ballistic, okay? She's like, Lexi, shut the hell up. I'm like, oh, Lord. It seems like the undercurrent, the underbelly of that family dynamic, the dysfunction of it. And I say that because it's a blended family. And a lot of times when you have a blended family, you're going to have hard feelings. So as we learn, it seems like all of the kids got a car, but keep in mind, it seems like Nell is the one that's lavishing the kids. Not saying that Chris ain't doing nothing for him too, because obviously, yeah, of course he is. But it seems like she bought all of her kids a car. So from what we learned, the baby girl, Kayla, got a Mercedes S17. I think Chris Jr. got a BMW, and Lance, I forgot what he got, but they all got luxury cars. But those are Nell's biological kids. And it seems like Alexis grew up with her mom. Let me tell it, since they've been together since Alexis was 16 months old, that's young. You know, that's an infant to a toddler, okay? So it seems like there's some hard feelings probably on the mama's end, and she probably poisoned Alexis' mind. So let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a buck. It could also have been a situation to where Alexis's mom could have been like, I don't want my baby around that, you know what? I don't want her around that chick, right? Especially if her and Chris Sr. were in a relationship and probably not too long broke up. Or maybe she could feel a way that it didn't work out between those two. I mean, It ain't unheard of. And men are the same way. They don't want their kids around a new man, especially when the kids are young, the relationship is freshly over, blah, blah, blah. So Chris did say during the scene when they were out at the car, when she alleged that you didn't really start doing anything for me until I was 28. And then he said that he had harder times. So probably when he and Nell first got together, they're young in their careers, trying to build their businesses, and they may not have been as financially stable. Maybe he wasn't as present for her physically because she didn't live in a home. Who knows? It can be hard feelings. Anyway, whatever the case may be, it seems like he wasn't as present for her, or maybe not enough for her, or the mother poisoned her against Chris. But a few different things can be true at once, right? Because ain't nobody absolving Chris, because he said that he had hard times, was trying to get it together. Yeah, but it seems like that's a point of contention, the fact that all of them got luxury cars, and she said she had to save up all summer and save $1,600 up to get a Grand Dam, which tells me her mother, whatever the household she grew up with, may not have had the financial means that the Fletchers had. Okay, and there's probably some resentment because she see how they living in this big old beautiful home, living opulent. They have everything in the lap of luxury, and she probably had to work hard. And I don't know if she has other siblings by her biological mother, but everything wasn't handed to her on a silver platter. So there's some resentment there. But she says she bought this Grand Dam. She got into a car accident. Her thing is, yeah, you guys bought me a car after I wrecked my Grand Dam. Then Nell says she dropped $22,000 to get another car or whatever like that. But it wasn't until she wrecked the other car. And then she went on to talk about an insurance claim. So that's the only thing when you have blended families, stepkids or whatever, you got to treat them all the same. But, if the mother was poisoning Alexis against Nell in that other family unit at her dad's house, yeah, some differences. Because again, Lance, that's not Chris's child, but he got a new car because that's Nell's baby. Okay, that's her firstborn. And she bought everybody a car. So girlfriend like, shit, why I ain't get a car? So she should have went to Chris, her daddy, to get a new car. Because see, it seems like Nell is the one with the open purse when it comes to that, now that I think about it.
If you guys are gonna lie, I will leave.
So, but when she got up to say, you kiss my ass and blah, 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 you go to hell and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, girlfriend has some deep-rooted issues. They definitely should go to family counseling to unpack all of that hurt and maybe possible trauma, so to speak. And she needs to go to individual counseling. They need to go to family counseling because she feels like the black sheep. She feels like she is left out, and she's put a wall up, and she goes on to say she blocked everybody, and they barely came to her wedding, I guess because there was a breakdown in the communication, because you can see how they talk to one another. But Nell did just snap at her when she was like, flag on the play. Chris Jr. said, well, he got arrested, as they're going back and forth about the $3,000-$4,000 for the dog and Nell not giving it back. And she tried to jump in to help or whatever, and that triggered the hell out of Nell. So I can tell, yeah, they need to speak to each other versus at one another. There's a breakdown in communication. But you notice the white husband, his ass was quiet as a church mouse. He was like, y'all are not going to pile up and whoop my ass. He ain't try to defend the wife or try to calm her down or anything. He just set his ass still and looked straight ahead. And it's like, well, maybe if I don't look around, ain't nobody going to jump on my ass. Poor thing. But the part where Alexis said toward the end, I will burn this house down. You bought this one a BMW, and Kayla got a Mercedes for her 17th birthday. Chris Jr. got a BMW, and this one got this luxury car, and I didn't get ish, basically is what she's saying. Not only is there some resentment, there's some envy and a little bit of jealousy there too. I will burn this house down. I'm like, wow. Yes, that's some deep-rooted jealousy that she's feeling, because it obviously her household that she grew up in was a lot different than the household in which the others grew up in. That's the only thing about a blended family. It can be hit or miss. Sometimes it can be a beautiful thing, but there's a lot of hurt feelings. There's oftentimes people feel like you favor one child over the other. That's not your biological child, honey. You have to treat them all like they came out your child. But anyway, that was just deep. The symbolism in the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to fill its warmth. So essentially, that African proverb means that a child rejected by their community, i.e., in this particular case, on her father's side, she feels like that family unit rejected her. And it's a devastating situation. It only gets worse as a child grows, as they say. So this really is reminiscent of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because when you think about the bottom rungs of the ladder, you have your physiological safety, just basic needs, food, water, shelter, and things like that, before higher needs can be fulfilled. So she probably had that at her mom's house. But as you go up the ladder, you think about self-actualization and a sense of love and belonging and developing your self-esteem to feeling like you matter, that you're seen. I'm thinking those are some issues that she's experiencing. But anyway, but honey, she triggered the hell out of Chris when she said, no, you ain't started doing shit for me until I was damn near 28, which I think she's exaggerating. But she may be equating him doing for her and them dropping money for cars or giving large gifts. And maybe that could be her love language, right? Her love language could be acts of service and gifts and things like that. So anyway, it's pretty interesting. I'm all here for it. And I still want to know why little Chris Jr. got arrested. We got a lot of sleuths out here, child, that be reporting on these shows. So I'm sure somebody may have looked it up. Hopefully they did, because I want to know why he got locked up. And if y'all heard anything, y'all drop that down in the comments, because I want to know. But anyway, but did y'all check out the niece Kiki? She said she wanted to reach around and knock. Do you know what? And I noticed Alexis doesn't have a good relationship with Nell's niece Kiki, because you noticed she said, I wish I could have reached around and knocked the hell out of her, and slapped the ish out of her or whatever. So it seems like Nell does a lot for her too. So it might be some envy on Alexis's end too, and some tension, because that's her niece and she does for her. And maybe Nell don't do as much for that other girl because she's in the house with her mama and that ain't her child. Ugh. Yeah, that's a sticky situation. But I like in a confessional when Chris said, that's still my daughter. I love her. But I found it interesting that Nell said, I understand and I respect that for you. So there's a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of tension, a lot of talking bad to one another, breakdown in communication. But anyway, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you guys, as always, drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. Bye-bye.